It's our pleasure to welcome now Mike McCormick, the president of the Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation. Mike, always good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So this is quite the event. I was just describing this sea of Farm Bureau Federation tents we've got set up in the parking lot here at the Golden Moon, and all this food. I mean, it's quite tempting. I've been sitting here doing the show for 3 hours while all this food is cooking up, and you can't help but smell the good eats that are out there waiting. What did you just tell us? We got like a whole bunch of it. We need people to come eat it.
Yeah, we're going to have to find some more people to come in and help us get rid of this. Our agents are pretty excited. They're pretty competitive people. So when we started talking about how can we help the Mississippi Food Network and eliminate hunger in the state of Mississippi, Henry Hamill, our state sales manager, said, hey, why don't we bring the agents in? Why don't we get our insurance companies involved and all of us do this together and collect money for a worthy cause and have a great time while we're doing it. So all of our agents are competitive. They're all great cooks. When I go to each one of the 82 counties, each one of them say, now this is the best barbecue you've ever eaten, or this is the best catfish you've ever had. And I absolutely say, well, it's the best I've had today, because y'all are all great at this. But we're going to find out who the Grills of Mississippi thinks is the best cookers here, and do it in a professional manner. And I expect it to be a pretty tight competition, because there's a bunch of good guys out there.
Mike, how did the company get involved in this endeavor?
Well, I guess it's my idea. It's kind of sort of a legacy thing to me. The Bible says in Luke that to whose much is given, much is required. And farmers, they're not having the best year. It's pretty hard times there. We don't have great days. Sometimes we don't have great weeks. Sometimes we don't have great years. But we're having a great life at doing what we're doing. We live a world that most people can only dream of, making a living off the land, growing your family and the food there that we feed America with. So I thought it was a perfect idea for us to give back to our communities. We're in all 82 counties of the state. We have staff working in all those places, and our agent force, that we would partner with the Mississippi Food Network to give back to those less fortunate than us, and farmers feeding the hungry just seemed like a great fit for us.
That's awesome. Yeah, it is a great fit. I would agree, and I know it's very much appreciated by the Food Network folks, and that organization does great work in the state of Mississippi. We you hit the nail on the head. This is not just feeding or addressing the problem. The goal here is to eliminate the problem.
Yeah, we've got way too many people, way too many kids that don't have food through the weekend to eat before they get back to school on Monday, and just breaks your heart to see how many of our elderly are struggling now with the inflation that we've seen on food items, that they need a little help to make it to the end of the month. So Mississippi Food Network does a fantastic job with that. Our staff has been down there on volunteer days and helped them pack backpacks for the kids and things for the shut-ins, and we just become attached to the Mississippi Food Network and want to help them. It's some trying times right now. We don't know where all the funds are going to come from, and I'm sure it'll come back here sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, Farm Bureau's here to help.
Gotcha. So let's talk about the farming industry in the state of Mississippi in particular. The tariff uncertainty has been an issue. You shared with us that our farmers in this country, and including in Mississippi, they're so good, they're so productive, they produce more than we can consume in our own country. So we rely on foreign markets to buy our products.
And that's a good thing, right? We need to run a trade surplus where the farmers are selling all their products overseas. That's not a bad thing. And I think all the farmers realize that we've got to have better trade deals. We get treated unfairly through the process, and it's not the best of times right now, but we're confident that we're going to get sooner rather than later, is what I'm hearing. I was with Senator Hyde-Smith earlier this week, and she mentioned some trade deals that we should be hearing about in the next week or so, and talked to Commissioner Gibson. I think you talked to him. There's a big one that he talked to me about this morning. So if we can start stacking those on top of each other, if we can get some soybeans and some other crops to move across the ocean, I think we'll be back bigger than ever.
Yeah, specifically, I'm sure he sent you the same data. He was pretty excited about it concerning a trade deal with India.
I know he's been over there several times.
Yeah.
I know Governor Bryant went over there. I've never been there with them, but they've been working on this for quite a long time. And India is the largest population in the world now, or should be. And we have a lot of opportunity there if they will allow us to come in and sell agricultural products there. So I don't know any details other than what Commissioner Gibson told me this morning, but he's very optimistic that something's on the table, and we'll hear about it real soon.
Mike, historically, have they been sort of a hostile market for us?
No, they just put 9 trade barriers in that keep us out of the marketplace.
Okay.
So it's not price related. They'll say that you produce this the wrong way, or you have this reason why I'm not taking it today. So India has just been a protectionist country of what they'll accept, but they send a lot of product into the United States, and I'm sure that they're going to want to not be on the bad end of a trade deal with this administration. So hopefully Commissioner Gibson's right, and we're going to get this going in our direction soon.
Well, I mean, and that was the president's strategy, was to leverage the consumer market here in the United States. I mean, we're the world's biggest customer to almost all these countries, if not all of these countries, and it's time that we leverage that and get a fair deal.
I agree, but the farmers are at the tip of the spear. They're the exports or imports that the foreign countries always go after to inflict them as much pain as possible on our country. So the president and Secretary of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, I met with her personally. She assures me that she has the president's ear in that whatever happens, they're going to have the farmers' backs through this process. And I hope we don't have to ask for subsidies or help from the administration. But the truth of the matter is we've had 3 or 4 bad years in the row crop industry sector, and they're probably going to need some help.
The Farm Bill, Mike, this comes up a lot. I hear this from just anecdotally from friends who are farmers. Talk about why that's so important and kind of what the status is.
Well, we moved in the 2018 Farm Bill. We moved to a lot of crop insurance for our farmers to handle the losses and away from direct payments or ad hoc disaster payments. But what's happened is with all the inflation that we've seen through the last 4 or 5 years, that the numbers, the triggers that trigger payments that the farmers are paying in for that insurance, it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't trigger, and it doesn't help them. So we've got to update the Farm Bill with realistic numbers of what the input prices are actually for the crops and how much they're getting for them. So all of that works, but it's just badly out of date. It needs a fresh coat of paint on it. It needs reworking, and we're hopeful, optimistic. We've got 2 really good guys working in Congress, Senator Bozeman from Arkansas and Congressman G.T. Thompson from Pennsylvania. Both have been here to Mississippi. Mississippi Farm Bureau's hosted both of them here. They understand our needs through the process, but the votes are just so incredibly tight up there. It's going to be hard to move anything. So I think what you're going to see towards the end of the year in a CR is maybe trying to update some of the things that could possibly be put in a CR that would make it easier to get a farm bill done next year. I'm not real hopeful we'll see a complete farm bill this year, but I do think we'll see parts of it included in a CR. Did
Senator Hyde-Smith give you some hope, some optimism there?
You know, she's one of the most optimistic people on the planet, and nobody fights harder for the American farmer, the Mississippi farmer, than Senator Hyde-Smith does. I was in a livestock meeting in Denver, Colorado last week, and we were talking about how we were going to get young people into the livestock business, and it's just so incredibly expensive to get into any kind of agriculture, owning land, owning the equipment that you need, all the livestock you'd have to buy. It's just incredibly hard to get into with those kind of barriers. But she wasn't able to attend, but she sent a video up there, and they introduced her. This is a national audience. They introduced her as our senator.
Oh, that's
and I
good.
thought that was awesome for the rest of the American agriculture to realize she fights that hard for us.
Well, I'm not sure anybody in the body understands the industry more than she does, being part of it. Yeah. So, Mike, appreciate you coming on. Great information, and thanks again for your involvement and work with the Mississippi Food Network. Is really important.
Well,
Thank you,
we
Mike.
appreciate you being here, and we're looking forward to making this bigger and better next year. And if you want to be a part of it, we'd love to have you. You can go by one of our offices and drop a check off if you feel called to do it. But we're going to be here all day today for a great cause and collecting some money to go to help end the hunger in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, sounds good. Mike McCormick, President of Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation, has been our guest. We're coming right back. Don't forget we got Lane Taylor, a newly elected Mississippi State Senator, 1235. Stay with us.